appreciate you and I love you. This is the African History class, and I'm most excited to be with you, my brother, my sister. Well, we said we're going to be speaking with Kenyatta Hill, and it looks like I have Kenyatta Hill on the line. Kenyatta, are you on the line? Oh, yes, we are all doing good. We are all doing very, very good. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you and we love you. Yo, so Kenyatta, where are you right now? Where are you speaking to us from?
Well, I'm speaking to you from Maryland in the United States.
Oh, Netherlands. Oh, interesting. Interesting. All right.
I'm in Maryland.
Maryland in the United States of America. Beautiful. All right, man. Now, it's been some years now since your father passed on, you know. Joseph Hill, and you know that Ghana is a great country when it comes to loving Kenyatta Hill. We love Kenyatta Hill because of culture. But since culture left us, tell me, how has the feeling been like? Have you been able to replace him?
Yes. Everything is still going the same as my dad was alive, except he's not here with me.
Ah, wow. Interesting. And how are the people receiving you when you perform songs on stage?
Well, I would say it's a great reception. Two reasons why. One, nobody expects, I wouldn't think they expect for somebody to be sounding or even doing culture as music, period. But so far, I have been carrying on. My mother has been my strength. My wife has been my strength. And thanks to the audience for coming along on board with me and making sure that the music continues, especially my people in Africa, because trust and believe me, been to Africa quite a few times after my father passed away, and the reception is beautiful. Could not ask for more.
Interesting, interesting. Now, Kenyatta, I mean, tell me, how does it feel being the son of culture?
Well, like I always ask a lot of people, how does it feel to have a dad? For me, it's just great knowing that he's my dad. At first, when I realized what my father did, I was like very elated about it. You know what I mean? Very, very elated. Like, okay, this is what my dad does, and this is my lineage. This is my heritage. And what do you do to your heritage? You continue to grow your heritage and continue to adding to what was there, the foundation.
Interesting. And we know that, I mean, your father, culture, was made a chief right here in Ghana. He was made a development chief. Now, when the baton is passed over to you, would you accept it and be a chief in his place?
Yes, I accepted all my dad's, everything that he was involved in. I try to stay involved in it, you know what I mean? Yes, and when I come to Ghana, I would love for the people to recognize, like, okay, this is Joseph Hill's son, and he's supposed to be representing for his father, which is our chief. Yes, I am working my way into this role.
Interesting.
Because, you know, you just can't say, I'm a chief. No, the people have to assign you that. Yes, my father was that, but I still wish for the people of Ghana to tell me that the mantle is in your hand. The baton has been passed over to you.
Interesting. Now the people of Eburi are listening to you right now. Those who made your father a chief, and the whole of Ghana is listening to you right now. Now when we announced that we're going to have you for an interview, the whole Ghana decided to tune in and listen to you. Now Kenyatta, tell me, a lot of people say you look so much like your father, and I agree, and that you sound so much like your father, and I agree. Now, what do you think were the mistakes of your father that you wouldn't want to repeat?
The mistakes of my father that I didn't want to repeat is that I would like to have more kids than my dad. My dad never had a lot of kids. You know what I mean? That was the only mistake that my dad made. He only had 2 kids. but it's a good mistake. You know what I mean? I wish I had more brothers, but I have brothers all over the world,
Yeah. Right.
especially in Africa.
For
I mean,
real.
everywhere I go in Africa, people are like, "You are our brother," and I'm like, "I know that, and you are all my brothers and sisters too."
For real.
And I
For
accept
real.
that. I accept that. You know what I mean? I accept my responsibility with my peoples.
Oh, interesting. Now, Kenyatta, I mean, in Ghana, we love culture so much. Would you say that culture was most loved in Ghana? Of course, he was loved in so many different countries, but was he loved the most in Ghana?
Well, from my experience, yes.
Wow.
I have been all over Africa with my father, and the reception that we get in Ghana, there is no comparison. I mean, it's all good wherever we go in Africa, but man, Ghana, it's exceptional. The people of
Interesting.
Ghana are exceptional. The love and the energy that they share all the time with my father and me, it's great. Because I came back after my father passed away. I just passed through, and I went on to Ivory Coast through Ghana. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all know this one keyboard player. His name is George Kwaku.
Yes, we know George
He lives in Ghana.
Yeah.
Yeah, so y'all know that he played with my father for many years.
Yes.
He still plays with me. So we were going to Ivory Coast to do a show, and he was like, "Man, we have to stop in Ghana for at least 2 days." I was like, "No problem." So we stopped, and I just went out in the streets and just had fun with my people, because that's what we do. We're not inferior and we're not superior. We're all equal.
That's right. That's
We're
right.
all we're all equal. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter where you come from, east, west, north, south. We were all made by one man, created by one hand. My dad let me know that.
Yeah.
For we were made by one hand, created by one man. Don't you know it's true? We should live as one. We should give each other an helping hand. Yes.
Oh my God.
We should not fight against each other.
Eh.
We should not.
Yes, that's
Yes,
right. I'm going to ask you this. What do you think contributed to the so much love that your father enjoyed from Ghana?
Well, my father lived, breathed, think, everything Africa. His whole life was dedicated to the freedom of Africans. You know what I mean? We were born in Jamaica, but that doesn't mean that we're not Africans. We were taken away from our homeland. They brought us here. So for me, I always tell people, I think we all need to go back to Africa at least once in our life.
Yeah, for real.
To see.
Yeah.
And then we will understand where we're from.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you again.
And I love it.
I'm going to ask you again, Kenyatta. Did you know from the start that one day you would pick up a microphone and sing? Or you just wanted to relegate yourself to sound engineering?
My whole life was dedicated to being a sound engineer, to be honest with you.
Wow.
My whole life, because I went to school for that. I have a diploma in recording arts and science.
Wow.
And I graduated from a prestigious musical university here. And before even university, everything came to me natural. Engineering came to me naturally.
Wow.
I love to deal with wires. So if I love dealing with wires, trust and believe me, that came as a natural thing for me. But the microphone, I was never prepared for that. That was never a part of my forte. No.
I am going to ask you this other one. If I watched Culture play in Kumasi, and at a point, I think that the sound was not going in his way. So he started kicking down the speakers. And you came on stage as if nothing had happened to fix up a few things here. And then it was like you were almost telling him, cool down, that is all right. Did you experience some of these things regularly with Culture?
I mean, he's a perfectionist at what he does. And like if we go out to do a concert, yes, we send out all technical riders and all specs that we need for the show to go smoothly. But if it doesn't go, that's where, if we don't get all that, that's where my job comes in, to make sure everything that we have works to the best of its ability. And that's where my dad really appreciated me after going to school. He was like, man, I'm so happy that you made a choice of being an engineer, because without you, I would have been in a world of hurt. And I was like, that's the reason why I went to school, so I could be by your side to make sure that you are at your best at all times on stage, Papa.
Interesting. Well, this one is also coming in. Do you know of any instance where culture refused to come on stage for one reason or the other? He was there to
Yeah.
perform, but he
Yeah.
said, I'm not going to
Yes.
play.
Yes. That happened. That happened here in the States.
Wow.
That happened here of all places. The mighty America.
Wow.
We went to the show and they had 3 speakers on stage, 2 measly speaker in the front, telling us, "Oh, that's it."
Wow.
Dad was like, "Okay, that cannot be it. Pack it up. We're on the next one." We never did that show because my father believed in respecting his technical rider.
Interesting. Now, the songwriting skills of your father. This might be the last question I'm going to ask you about your father, then we zoom into you. Tell me, do you know if anybody ever wrote songs for your father?
Yes, my dad was never yes, my dad, he writes a lot of his own material. But in his later days, he started like, all right, a lot of people have been asking me to do songs, and they have songs that, you know what I mean? And he would be like, okay, let me get the words, and I will see if it's up to par. Yeah. Like Humble African Album. A lot of those songs were written by other people.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah, and it came out good because everybody sat together when it was time to record.
This
and
is
we went in the
3FM.
studio, and my dad was like, this right here, we have to change here because it doesn't coincide with what we're saying. And they're like, it's up to you, Mr. Hill. And he did his changes, and everything worked as it's supposed to.
Do you know if he ever recorded any song and decided that he would never release it?
Yes.
Interesting. What was the reason?
Yes. Huh?
What was the reason?
Well, the reason was that, okay, my father is a Rasta man. He lives biblically. He lives by the Bible.
Yes.
And if mankind, earthly beings, are not living accordingly by the Bible, my father will speak out about it. So he did that in a song. And my father is very much anti-gay. He's a straight man. He's a straight man. He loves a woman. He loves man, but not in that sense.
Not in that sense, yes.
Not in that.
For real.
So when you know what I mean? He did a song about that, and I was the producer of the album.
Wow.
That song was supposed to go on That song was supposed to be on World Peace album, and I told him no. If I'm the engineer and I'm a part of the production, no, we're not going to put this one out because at that time they were fighting against Buju Banton for Boom Bye Bye, Capleton, T.O.K., Sanchez, everybody who sang about that kind of lifestyle. They fought against. So I told my dad, no. Your career spans more than this.
Wow.
It's way bigger than this. We're not going to highlight these people. We're not going to give them any love. We're not going to give them any thought, any speech, nothing. This will never get out.
Wow. So the Antigay song never came out.
Until today, I still have that record. It's not going to be released. It will never be released.
Interesting. Do you remember some of the words? Would you want to sing us just one line or two?
Yeah, I ain't got no problems because it's just how he felt and he spoke it.
Yeah.
The song said, I will never go to bed sleeping with a guy. Oh no, I will never go to bed sleeping with a guy.
This is 3FM.
Oh no. Come to think about the hair on his face, there cannot be no feminine taste. I will never go to bed, sleeping with a guy. Yeah. So he did that
Wow.
song, and I never ever released it, and it goes on deeper. So I was like, you know what? Nah.
Wow.
No.
I
And
am
I mean the production of the music, the musical aspect of that song, it is to die for.
In fact, Kenyatta, I'm going to ask you another question, and it's only you who can answer this question. It's always been heavy on my heart, and I've always wanted to personally meet with you and ask you this question. Do you know why the original backing vocalist of Culture was changed? I'm talking about C Days.
Oh, you're talking about like Brother Keys and Albert Walker?
Not Albert Walker, the next one to Albert Walker. Days.
Kenneth Days.
Kenneth Days, yes. Kenneth Days.
Well, he stopped on his own. He stopped on his own. And it's just like every band, everybody has disagreements. So there was some form of disagreements. I was never on tour. That was from 1992, 93. Yeah.
Wow.
So we're talking like 40-something years ago or 30-something years ago.
Yeah, long time. But what
Long
is
time ago.
But what is your vibe with him? Do you have a good relationship with him? With Kenneth?
Yes, I have a good relationship with Kenneth, and I have a very good relationship with Brother Albert Walker.
Is Albert Walker still in the band?
No, just retired this year. Albert Walker is 84 years old, man.
Oh my. Oh man, how time flies.
Albert Walker, he's in his 80s, so he's like, man, it's time for me to hang up the hat. I mean, that doesn't mean culture is dead.
Of course.
That doesn't mean that culture is dead at all. You know what I mean? Because I've got my sister coming in, and I've got my nephew coming in, so it's going to be like a family unit.
We are
which is going to be representing culture.
We're looking forward to having you for Kuchoko Roots Festival this year on the 10th of October. I mean, we're going to get in contact with you, and we'll see how we can bring you in for a real proper concert right here in Ghana, Kenyatta Hill and Culture. I don't know how you feel about that.
I am elated.
This is 3FM.
But the thing is, what I would like for my people of Ghana to understand, which you already asked me the question, it's not going to be the original guys. The band will be the original members that we all know with my dad. They all still with me. But as far as the singers, it's gonna be my sister and my nephew and myself.
Interesting.
So it's gonna be 3 people, and trust me when I tell you, there's nothing gonna be short on stage. People are gonna be like, wow.
For real.
I like the evolution that it took on. Everything still remains the same. The roots is there. He writes like his dad.
Yeah.
And he sings all his dad's music. Plus his music. We can't ask for more. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
I mean, you have an album out. I mean, you actually have more than one album out. We have Rhythm of Life, which is your latest album, right? That's the last album you made. And there's this song on it called African. I love it. I love Policeman as well. It's always on radio here. I mean, we also know that you have Live On. That's in fact the tribute to your father. And then Pass the Torch. I mean, these are great albums. How is the Rhythm of Life album doing?
It is actually doing good. That album is actually doing good. And I do a lot of performance, a lot of songs off of that one while I'm on tour.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I love to sing African because I do that with a sense of pride, knowing that I am an African myself. And I do that with a great sense of pride. It always gives me pride doing that song. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Wow.
There's another one in the making. It's called Culture Reincarnated, where a lot of the songs that I do on that one, that I'm doing on this one, they don't get a lot of love.
Wow.
They didn't get the recognition they should have gotten back in the day. You know what I mean? Because the song, all right, let's take, for instance, this song, Forward to Africa. I mean, that song,
it's a great song, but it still didn't get a lot of love.
It's a classic. Yes.
It's a classic,
Yeah.
and it didn't get a lot of love. So you know what I mean? Those were the kind of songs that I go for.
I love it, and I play it here
Please
regularly.
be honest to yourselves. All these songs, I dig deep because you know there's a lot of albums. So I dig. I didn't go to this album and say, okay, I'm gonna do good things or do culture or combo.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I pick from every album.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you getting all the royalties for culture, or you have a problem?
My mother deals with that. It's all well. My dad has had his business straightened out before he passed away.
Wow.
But there is no craziness around getting royalties. No, that comes every quarter to my mother. My mother,
Wow.
that's my mother's bread and butter. We as the next generation, we do our own and get our own bread. Yes, but for real, I make sure that my dad, music and everything has been taken care of properly. And for the guys that keep putting out new record, before they put it out, they have to speak to my mother or speak to me
Interesting. I like
before
that.
they put out anything. Now, we don't play games with my father's music. My father's music is my legacy. My legacy is my legacy. And it's for my children to
Interesting.
come and enjoy. And whomever feels like they want to pick up the mantle will pick it up.
Well, I mean, you want to have a number of children. How many do you have now, Kenyatta?
I've got 3 kids.
3. And you're looking forward to having more?
Nah, man, I'm almost 50 years old, man.
This is 3FM.
I just want to enjoy my life right now. I just want to enjoy my life. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Enjoy my life to the fullest.
Now, which is your favorite, your favorite culture song? I mean, culture song that you would say, this is my favorite.
The one that Forward to Africa is always going to be my number 1 favorite.
Wow.
Because that song speaks volumes.
Sing me a line or 2 of that, please.
I. Come on now, brothers and sisters, come hear what I have to say. Listen and I will tell you, brother, what's the talk of the town today? For in every corner that you will walk, you will see a group of people park. They're not skylarking, they are only talking about Ethiopia.
Oh.
Some say they want to live the rest of the world, and I will forward to Africa.
Oh my
Some
God.
talk about Ethiopia, and while the others Liberia. Well, no matter where,
the Rasta do not care.
Do not care.
Oh.
I know I must be there to get my share of all those riches and delicious dishes
out in Ethiopia.
I could sing that song all day, man. That song is...
Oh, my. Now, which is your worst culture song?
There is no worst culture song for me.
Interesting, yes, for real.
There's never a bad song.
That's right.
Every song has a message. It's how you receive it and translate it for yourself. How you perceive the words.
Kenyatta.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for real. For real. We can't wait to see you again right here in Africa. We can't wait to see you perform for us. All the wonderful, in fact, I have tears in my eyes right now when you were singing that song. We would like to have such great moments again right here in Accra, Ghana. And I want to thank you so much for granting us this wonderful interview. If there's any other thing you have to add, please go ahead.
Man. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure.
Thanks so much, Kenyatta. Now, if there's any song you want me to play from your album or the album of culture, tell me. I'll play that right now to close.
Anyone you want to play. Okay. The song that I want you to play for me, How Did I Stray?
From the North Crisis album.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to lick it out right now, straight up. Thank you so much, Kenyatta. We love you, and we're looking forward to having you soon. Love, 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 love.
Yes, sir. My pleasure. No problem.